They can get away with it. Nobody's ever been arrested for anything like
So
this.
now with crypto,
Yes.
I know personally, I know people that would have gotten in or stayed in
Right.
if these people weren't saying what they're saying.
Right. And so this has really been extremely egregious. So on September 12th, Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin is a fraud. He says he'll fire any one of his traders buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin drops 24%. When Jamie Dimon speaks,
People listen.
people listen. So that weekend, we found out that the largest buyer of a Bitcoin fund that's in Europe that buys physical Bitcoin, right? The largest buyer was Morgan Stanley and JP Morgan. And that's not illegal.
He says it's a fraud.
It says they fire anyone that buys it.
Fire.
Yes.
And at the same time, his company is buying
His
it.
company is buying it.
It's just, I mean, so unethical.
Right.
Okay, George Soros.
George Soros, in
He's-
January 24th, price was already down, calls Bitcoin a bubble, says Bitcoin is the worst, the worst investment in the world. Don't buy Bitcoin. Don't buy Bitcoin. Basically throws gasoline on the fire
Yeah.
at this point. And then what do we find out? So he says bubble here.
It drops 44%.
Right. And then here in April, 2 months later, guess what we find out?
Yeah.
His $26 billion family office has approval to buy cryptocurrency.
Right. And we only knew about it publicly
Right.
here.
Here,
And
yes.
this is the kind of thing that George Soros is famous for this, talking the sterling down.
Yeah.
And what did he do? He stole the pensions of all the little people.
Yeah, made $1 billion.
Yeah. Okay.
So then here now, Goldman Sachs, this again, February 7th, most cryptocurrencies will crash to zero. Now I remember when they said this in February, and I had, through my network, I knew that Goldman Sachs was setting up a crypto trading desk. Absolutely knew they were setting up a crypto trading desk.
I remember you telling me that.
Right. And then, of course, they were denying it. No,
Yeah,
we're not.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
we're not. No, we're not. Price falls down 27%. And then what do we find out? We find out here, they say BTC 0. And then we find out just before May, new trading desk. Not only that, they put $400 million to buy a cryptocurrency trading platform. Okay, so February 7th, it's all going to zero. May, we just spent $400 million just on a flyer.
And they're not the only ones.
No. So you have a lot of institutions that are coming. You had Christine Lagarde from the IMF come out. And this is what's funny about this, Glenn, is it was all around the same time. It was almost like I can't prove collusion, but it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck.
And you know what?
It's probably a duck.
The people, they all hang out together. They all think alike. It doesn't
Right.
have to be calling each other.
Yeah.
They know this game.
Yes.